closer immune to your charms.
I never hit you.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
What is this big opening thing that you want to do?
It's not a big opening thing. It is a simple question.
Okay.
Have you ever been to some type of day camp or summer camp?
Just the church camps that we went to.
Like a VBS?
Yeah, but then that super wow thing that I did, the camp counselor thingy for.
Yeah. Okay. Was it anything like this camp?
No.
No?
No. This camp was super horny. And, yeah, that's pretty much the biggest difference.
I feel like my camp was very close to what this camp was like.
Yeah, you've been to camp before?
I went to a day camp for a whole week of summer.
Yeah.
It was the worst week of summer ever.
Yeah.
Yes. I was very angry for being sent there.
I look on these movies, these camp movies, and I think, no thank you. Nothing about the camp experience.
No, it was horrible. It was horrible. I had no fun. I was separated from my brother. And they told us scary stories. They literally took us into the middle of the woods where this old rickety chair was and told us about how some boy would come out there every day and pick blueberries. And then one day he never came home because someone kidnapped him. And that's why we should never go out into the woods alone.
Yeah.
That is traumatizing to a child. He was called Blueberry Boy. I remember this story, and it was horrifying. I don't like being outdoors, so camp was the worst thing for me. I don't like being outside. I don't like being around other people, and you put me in both.
Yeah, I feel like camp in general is just a very traumatizing experience for a third of the kids who go there.
Yeah.
But parents are just like, nope, I need to get rid of you.
Yeah.
I don't have school to send you to, so I'm sending you to camp.
Yeah. I still remember our camp song.
That disturbs me.
I know. I think your mom had the worst camp story, though.
I don't remember it. Oh, yeah, where her family moved while she was away at camp.
So she comes home from camp, and they're not at the house.
Yeah, that's really funny.
That's the worst camp story.
My mom had a messed up childhood.
Yeah. A little bit.
Yeah. Just when you think oh, your childhood was bad. My mom's well, let me tell you a story.
So, all right. I just was curious if you have ever been to camp and if it was anything like this camp in the film.
No, it was not. I mean, it was kind of the same in that the camp counselors are always yelling at kids for being kids.
Right, for being children.
But that was about the only similarity.
Okay.
So your introduction to this podcast was almost as interesting as mine.
Almost as interesting.
I just wanted to say,
okay.
Do you know what episode this is for us?
What?
40.
40?
We're on episode 40. And yes, we've been taking a lot longer to release episodes because we have a lot of stuff going on in life right now.
The coronavirus is happening.
The coronavirus is happening, which you would think would mean we could record more episodes.
But it means everyone's home, so we can record nothing.
Exactly. Hopefully, soon we can get back to recording and releasing on a weekly basis.
Yeah.
But
I'm glad we were talking about this movie.
40 episodes.
Woohoo! Because I thought for a second we might be talking about House, and I was like...
Oh, The House.
The House.
Will Ferrell and Amy Poehler.
So I was like, oh, that's not a good introduction.
No. That would have been... a very interesting plot twist to throw at you.
All right, but I'm ready.
Okay, cool. Welcome to Bad Movie Date Night, the only and best podcast about bad movies with a husband and wife, sharing their thoughts and opinions with you, the listener. I am still Nigel from ajourneyintofilm.com, and with me is my wife, Kaitlyn.
Hello there.
And this week, we're talking about the 1983 American slasher classic, Sleepaway Camp.
Best bad movie ever.
Yeah,
no,
it's definitely...
It's not. It's up there, though.
It is pretty far up there. I
Yeah.
still hold that I like the second one more. And we'll talk about the second one a little bit. We'll talk about the sequels a little bit.
We should watch the sequels and talk about
Well,
them.
okay, we will. But I just want to give a little bit of history of the sequels because it is crazy.
It's
But
pretty crazy.
let me tell you something real quick. So you're sitting here, you're talking about your camp experience,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, man, I want to see what the rest of these people have been in.
Mm-hmm.
So Angela, played by actress Felissa Rose, okay? She's been in a lot of things.
Really?
She has 124 credits on IMDb, 37 upcoming projects.
Whoa.
She is, I wouldn't say that she's necessarily like a scream queen. Oh, you know what? Let's pause for a second. If you have not seen this movie, I would highly recommend watching this movie before listening to this podcast.
Yeah.
Because it is crazy and a lot of fun to go into without knowing the twist. Would you agree, Kaitlyn?
I definitely agree.
'Cause-
So, spoiler alert.
Yeah, definitely lots of spoilers. Anyways,
It's on Amazon Prime.
It is. The
So-
first 3 Sleepaway Camp movies are on Amazon Prime.
You can probably rent it on iTunes, so.
Yeah, if you want to pay money for it when you could just watch it on Prime.
Unless they don't have Prime.
But, okay, I would say like 100% of people have Prime at this point.
All right. Well,
Okay,
regardless.
Felissa Rose.
Maybe they want to buy it.
Or you could buy it. That would be great too.
I want to buy it.
I think that we should. All right, Felissa Rose. She plays Angela. Not necessarily Scream Queen, because she is, in fact, the murderer.
Dun dun dun.
She is in a lot of really bad horror movies. Camp Dread, Blood Reservoir, Jurassic City, Tales of
Jurassic
Halloween.
City,
My
I
Uncle
wanna watch
John
that.
is a zombie.
Oh, that
Terror
sounds good.
Tales, Family Possessions, The House That Wet Blood. But you know what I'm most excited for?
What?
That I just found out about.
What?
2019 TV movie. She is 4th build, stalked by my doctor, a sleepwalker's nightmare.
No! Oh my. Okay, I know what we're watching tonight.
Wanted for multiple crimes, Dr. Albert Beck assumes the identity of another doctor en route to a new job at a sleep clinic. He falls for his first patient, Shelley, who suffers from nocturnal sleep sex.
Oh, Lord. All right, we're watching that tonight.
I don't know if we're going to watch it tonight, but we will definitely watch it, and we will
Are
definitely
you
talk
kidding
about
me? I gotta watch that right now.
it. Okay. And yes, I did text Daniel about it, so...
But he's not gonna get the same, like, because he did not watch Sleepaway Camp
Right, but we had them on...
for Stalked by My Doctor.
For Stalked by My Doctor, so maybe we'll have to do it again.
Yeah. I think we need to plan a trip to see them.
Get out of town.
What else is she on?
Not her. Okay. This is going to make you poop your pants.
All right.
Okay. Angela's cousin, Ricky, played by Jonathan Tiersten.
He was arguably the best actor in this movie.
And also really annoying. But
You thought he was annoying? I liked him.
I thought everybody in this movie was annoying.
No. Okay.
He also has a connection to another movie that we've watched, in which he did the soundtrack for Plan 9.
Really?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Apparently, he has been some kind of musician for quite a while. And he still acts in stuff. He's in a movie called The Perfect House. And he's also in Return to Sleepaway Camp. We'll talk about Return to Sleepaway Camp.
I thought for some reason you're going to tell me he was in like Little Italy or something.
Oh, wouldn't that have...
That would have blown my mind.
Yeah, like some kind of rom-com.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways.
Now I just want pizza.
That sounds so good. All right. Robert Hiltzik directed Sleepaway Camp. Fun fact, it is his
only movie.
He has directed 2 movies, Sleepaway Camp and Return to Sleepaway Camp.
Yeah.
Now, you might be saying, Nigel, I thought you said that there were multiple Sleepaway Camp movies. Well, yes. This is a case of a movie in which a guy made it and he said, all right, I got that out of my system. He sold the rights to somebody else to make the sequels. Sleepaway Camp 2. Oh, what are the rest of them called? Sleepaway Camp 2, Unhappy Campers. Sleepaway Camp 3, Teenage Wasteland, both directed by Michael Simpson. And somebody else started working on Sleepaway Camp 4, The Survivor, but it wasn't completed. And so they just kind of put the footage together into kind of like a mishmash of movies. And then someone said, "Hey, Robert, did you know that your movie has a cult following?" And he goes, "What?" And he decided to make Return to Sleepaway Camp.
I feel bad. I feel like he's just a guy who just wants to make... He was like sitting with his buddies, having a beer, and was like, "Guys, I have this great idea for a movie." And he pitches Sleepaway Camp, and they're like, "That is awesome. You should totally do it." And then he makes it, and he's like, "Meh, that wasn't great, but it's out of my system. I can move on with my life." Now I feel like we're ripping him to shreds.
Yeah.
But I appreciate you making this movie.
I appreciate this movie being made. And for a variety of reasons. Because it's terrible, but also it's a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun.
Okay.
Also, like, disturbing in a lot of ways.
It is quite disturbing. But you know what I realized? Like, it's not... Like, there's a lot of violent things that happen, but you don't necessarily see all of the violent things that occur.
Right. I just think it was more disturbing with not even the violence, but just like the cook.
Oh, yeah. The pervert cook.
Yeah, that was disturbing. The mother, she was disturbing. What's she in?
The mom?
Yeah, because I feel like...
Aunt What's-Her-Face?
Yeah, I feel like she did not go far.
Find out.
I'm not sure.
I don't even remember what her name was. Oh, Aunt Martha. Desiree Gould. She was in 6 movies.
When was the last year she was in a movie?
2014.
Okay.
She was in a movie called Tales of Poe as Nurse Meliard.
All right.
And, let's see. Can we find any pictures of her? This movie looks bonkers.
I feel like she's bonkers. So I feel like no matter what movie she's in, she's going to make it bonkers.
Oh, there she is.
Oh.
She did not age well.
She did not age well.
She looks like she'd been puffing the cigarettes.
She was a marginally attractive actress.
Except for the fact that she had, like, crazy eyes.
Well, yeah.
Let's not forget that.
I could never.
She, like... Okay, so let's talk about the aunt for a second. How would you describe how she acts? Because it's very...
Like, okay, I know this is going to sound like a weird comparison, and I don't know why I think of it, but every time I watch it, I think of the Dean from Community. It's just so animated.
Yeah, okay. So in a movie in which a lot of things are already over the top,
right.
She is the over-the-toppiest.
Yeah. She's so animated.
She seems like this very prim and proper lady. And she's like, "Oh, yes, that is what we will do." Oh, no, I don't think that will do at all. I can't remember, like, anything that she says.
That's something she says. And she's dressed, like, in this very 50s style makeup and hair and outfit. And she's just very... And, like, she clearly has some type of mental disorder.
Oh, yeah.
Because she's always like... "Oh, I forgot. I tied a string around my finger and just to remember and oh, I remember now. Your physicals."
Yeah, but then she's like...
But don't tell anyone how you got them. They would not like that at all. No.
They wouldn't. And she, like, always puts her finger on her mouth. Like,
yes.
Or, like, oh, no, they wouldn't.
I don't know why. It just reminds me of the Dean. Like, the
It's
Dean
very
dressed
flamboyant.
up doing... yes.
And...
doing a bit.
Yeah, like, it's like she didn't get the memo of, like, what the rest of the movie was going to be.
Yeah, and no one stopped her. But, like, But weirdly, like, I feel like it worked for the movie, though.
Oh, yeah,
it weirdly
because
did.
In order for the end to make any sense at all, you need
to grow up with an aunt like that.
Yes, you need to have some sort of off the hinges aunt who's willing and capable of doing something bonkers.
Yeah. Yeah. So, this movie was so disturbing. I was even thinking about that flashback scene with remember the two children?
Yeah.
And their dad in bed with another man?
Yeah, that was weird.
And then they were in bed. It was just, this movie, like, it had a lot of things going on. Like, I think it was about, like, some type of, like, sexual repression, homosexuality. I'm not really sure. It just had a lot of stuff happening in it.
I told you, this movie and this summer camp was very horny.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about this for a second. Okay? First of all, there's the gay dads. Or
right.
Dads we'll have to figure that out.
I don't even know. Like,
okay.
there's no reason for it to be brought up. There's no point. It's just all of a sudden, let's do a flashback scene to this.
Yeah, it's okay. So you almost wonder, like, does the ending, or is Angela the way that she is because of this thing with the dads, or because of the aunt thing? Or is the aunt that way because she found out about the dads?
Maybe that was her dad.
I don't think it was the aunt's dad. I think it may have been her husband.
Oh.
Because at the beginning, like the one guy says like, "Oh hey, the doctor's gonna be here soon," and then I think the kid says like, "Oh, Aunt Martha, yay," or something like that.
Maybe.
I don't know. We'll talk about it in a second.
I don't know.
I just, for like a brief second, I just wanted to bring up the camp counselor that's like...
The muscle guy that wears the tiny shorts?
No, but that was hilarious. I was thinking more of this camp counselor.
Oh, she's awful.
The one that's like, I gotta hook up with people.
She's mean.
Yeah. Well, no, he was kind of like creepy. The guy with the cigar. What was his name? Mel?
Oh, the director, the camp director. I don't think he was a counselor.
Well, the guy who just kept trying to sweep everything under the rug. Yeah.
I think he was like the owner of the camp or something. He was creepy.
Also sketchy. Let's name all the people in this movie who aren't sketchy.
Ricky?
No. Everybody's sketchy in this movie.
I don't know. Ricky's not that sketchy.
Yeah, except he, like... Didn't he try to, like, fight a kid or something?
Yeah, but they were being mean to his cousin.
Yeah, but for a while you think, oh, maybe Ricky's behind everything. Because that's the way it goes.
The dead brother?
Yeah, I guess the dead brother's okay.
Actually, technically, it's the dead sister.
Yeah, that's okay. True. All right, so let's start from the beginning.
A lake.
We're on a lake.
In the middle of nowhere.
A dad and his children.
Trees everywhere.
Are swimming.
The sun is out. There's a motorboat.
The father's lover is sitting on the dock watching them.
Who was that? A girl or a boy?
It was definitely two men.
I don't remember. So he is the gay one.
Yeah, their dad, Angela's dad, and this guy
are gay
with each other.
I missed that in the beginning.
Well, that's the thing, is like you don't really find out for certain
until later.
Okay.
Keep
but
going.
like, okay.
So where's their mom? We don't know.
We don't know where the Mrs. Angela's mom is.
Okay.
Dad's hanging out with his kids in the lake.
Mm-hmm.
The dad's lover is like, hey, doctor's going to be here soon. We better go. And they're like, what? Aunt Martha, let's go. And they kind of like are getting ready to get out of the water. Meanwhile, cut to some immature teenagers. Where this kid is driving his boat. And this girl's like, you should let me drive the boat. And he's like, no, you're dumb. You're a girl. You can't drive boats.
Girls can't read.
And she's like, yeah, I can drive a boat. He's like, all right, I'll let you drive this boat. She's driving the boat. She hits the thing.
She hits what thing?
The throttle.
You're
the
not
thing,
a good story.
Okay. She makes the boat go faster, but she can't.
Unmake it go faster.
Right. Weren't they like making out or something?
I have no idea.
Okay. We remember a lot of this movie.
This is not the important part.
Yeah. Okay. Here's what you need to know from this. A child dies.
Dies!
This couple who's messing around on this boat when they probably aren't even old enough to be driving the boat.
Yeah.
hit
Kill a child. Yeah.
And almost kill. Oh, and the dad. Doesn't the dad
That's
die?
what I was confused about. Did the dad die too?
I think the dad had to die. Otherwise,
Where
Angelo
did he
would
go?
not go to live
Right.
with Aunt
Unless
Martha.
he like killed himself.
Right. But I don't think he killed himself.
Okay, so
I think the boat killed him. He killed
it
himself
killed
with
the
the boat.
dad and
And-
the child.
And the child.
This movie starts at an 11.
Yeah. It does.
It's wild.
It is. But it like kind of glosses over this
It
whole
does.
fact.
It doesn't make it a big deal at all.
You're like, all right, let's cut back to the past real quick. Here is what happened. A child and a father die, leaving one child behind. Cut to today, which is 1983. Conveniently, the movie takes place in the year it comes out, as you do.
Makes
Angela
sense.
lives with Dr. Aunt Martha, and her cousin Ricky. And Martha's like, we're going to send you guys to summer camp for the first time.
Angela
And
doesn't talk.
Angela is introverted to the max.
Well, she probably traumatized.
For real. Not only from the death of her sibling and from her father, but living with this crazy lady.
Yeah.
Okay. So they go to camp. Ricky's like got all these friends. Angela knows nobody and is bullied for being quiet.
Which is so sad.
It is sad. Why? But the other thing is, like, why do kids feel the need to bully someone because they're quiet and they don't want us to participate?
Right? Mean.
Shut your mouth.
Right. Let us not participate.
Right. So here's my favorite part of them. Actually, it's quite a disgusting part, but it's very funny. It's not funny, but I laugh a little bit whenever I see it. So the kids are all arriving at camp. They're getting off the school bus. They're getting out of their parents' cars, whatnot. Meanwhile, the head chef is like, look at that, like, tasty snack or something really creepy.
Yeah.
And the assistant chef in this, like, horrible black sidekick role is like, oh, head chef, you so silly. Those kids are too young to know what you're talking about.
Yes.
And he just walks away.
Yeah. So basically, the head chef was like sexualizing the children as they got off the bus.
And these
children.
kids are like 12.
Yeah. Like, we're not talking about like teenagers here. We're talking
Right.
about like children.
Yeah, children up to teenagers because there are like the camp counselors and
But,
stuff.
right. But he was definitely picking out the children.
Yeah.
And the black guy who was in a very racist role and was just like, oh, he's so silly.
Like, oh.
There goes
you-
Chef again.
Yeah, doing his thing. And you're
Horrible.
just like, oh boy. And this is how Harvey Weinstein happened.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, oh, Harvey.
You're so funny.
Yeah. And he's like,
No, it's horrible.
yeah. So Angela,
Let's just say the chef gets what he deserves.
yeah. Well, we're getting there. Because that's
I know
next
that's the
thing that
first
happens.
murder.
It is like the first murder.
It's my favorite.
It is by far the best and probably the one that they put the most amount of work
Yes.
into.
Yes.
Angela doesn't eat because she's too introverted, doesn't eat. Don't know why she doesn't eat. I guess
Probably-
because she hates food. And the camp counselor, Ronnie, is like, Ronnie kind of looks like a John Stamos type, but like if John Stamos was a bodybuilder
Yeah.
and wore really tiny shorts.
Yeah. And cut off shirts that basically just cover his man boobs, and you can't really qualify as a shirt.
Yeah, it's more of like a t-shirt bra
Yes.
that offers no support.
Yes.
So very 80s.
Yes.
He is like, come on, Angela, let's see if we can figure out something for you. Actually, he kind of reminds me, like, the way he talks reminds me a little bit of, like, Danny from, like, Grease like a John
Yeah.
Travolta type.
Mm-hmm.
With like an Uncle Jesse vibe,
Yeah.
mixed with like the body of Arnold Schwarzenegger in his heyday.
Yeah.
Something
He reminds
like that.
me of some guy off Midnight Madness.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So he takes Angela to the chef. Chef's like, we'll figure something out for you.
Mm-hmm.
He takes her into the pantry and is like, I'm gonna do some things to you.
Yes.
And she just watches him in terror. Ricky shows up, catches them, and is like,
he was like
"Dude."
taking off his belt. It's disturbing.
It was very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Ricky catches them, and they run off. And then the chef is boiling some water later for dinner. A comically large pot of water.
I mean, what do you think? 5 feet tall?
He needs to stand on a ladder to
Yeah.
look inside this pot to make sure the water's boiling.
Yeah.
Now look, summer camp, you're making corn on the cob for like a couple hundred kids. It is a reasonable sized pot for that. But if someone showed me that pot and it was like, look at this amazing pot, look at this giant pot, I would not think that it was a real thing.
Right. Right.
He's boiling the water. Black chef's like, all right, I'm gonna go take a nap. Head chef's like, okay, you do that. And someone comes in, takes the ladder and shakes it a bunch of times. And he goes, hey, cut it out. Cut it out, you. And we don't know who it is. And we see some hands like rip the ladder out. And he falls on the pot and he burns himself. And we get this really gnarly close-up of like his face. It's like all oozing and bubbling. And he has
got like 5th degree burn.
Yeah, like there's no coming back.
No,
from that.
he's probably going to die and well deserved his death.
Yeah. Camp director Mel comes in and is like, hey, what happened here? Black chef's like, I don't know. I was taking a nap. And Mel's like, great. Nothing happened. In fact, here's a raise for you and your boys. Because they got a bunch. He's like, this is like one of those situations where he's like, hey, you're black. You know all black people, right?
Right.
So you go talk to your like coworkers and like convince them that nothing happened, and I'll give all of you a raise.
Right.
And they're all like, oh yeah, that sounds sweet. So first of all, okay, this could easily be deemed like an accident. Like,
Yeah.
oh, he lost his balance and he burned himself.
Right.
I don't know why the director wants to like
Hush
cover
it.
this whole thing up.
He like makes up some story about how he had to leave because he went on a trip or something.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, he could have literally just told the truth, but okay.
Yeah. Which, like, you know, that's fine. Like, get the pedophile out of there.
Right.
And, you know, save the day. This movie could have ended right here. Like, oh, we saved the day. from the pedophile. But no, it gets worse. Basically, this movie is just, like, people making fun of Angela and then those people dying.
That's a great way to describe this movie.
This kid, Paul, he's like, hey, Angela, I don't want to be friends with you.
Ricky's friend?
Yeah, Ricky's friend, Paul, little blonde kid. Kind of looks like a tiny, younger Michael C. Hall.
Definitely.
Right? Is that his name?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty sure. Yeah.
Anthony Michael Hall.
Anthony Michael Hall.
I don't know who Anthony C. Hall is.
Ah, I knew who you're talking about.
Yeah. But our audience didn't.
Yeah,
They don't have that same connection that we have. Like one kid, he drowns in a lake after skinny dipping.
Well, okay, so here's the thing. Okay. So like that cook was awful.
For surezies.
Deserved to die.
100%.
No questions. Okay. So that murder, check. Makes sense.
Right.
The next murder, I'm pretty sure, is the kid skinny dipping.
Yeah. Because he goes out on the boat with the
And
girl.
that does not make sense.
Well, I think he was making fun of her at the little, like, dance. It's like they have, like, the little gym hall
Oh,
thing.
yeah. I think he was, too.
He was making fun of her, and so...
She was like, you're dead.
Yeah.
So he, like, I forget how she kills him. He drowns, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He, because, like, remember, he goes out in the canoe with the girl, and he, like, flips it over, and she swims back, and then he goes under the canoe, and he's, like, singing to himself, and all of a sudden the head pops up, and then, like, next
Pushes
thing we
him
see
down.
is, like,
Yeah.
dead.
Dead. Super dead.
Then, so that's when the police get involved. And
Yeah, it took a murder of a child for the police to get involved.
Yeah. Well, I guess, like, the police would have been called for the thing, but they weren't really, like...
They didn't ask any questions.
Yeah, but now they're like, oh, dead child? We better ask questions.
Right.
And the camp council is like, I don't know. He was a strong swimmer. I don't think this would happen. And police are like, no.
He drowned.
There's nobody around. He definitely drowned.
Yeah.
And the camp counselor, Ronnie, he's like, I don't know about that. But we're never going to come back to that ever again.
No.
Paul starts flirting with Angela. Then some kids throw water balloons at Angela.
Again, like, everyone's just picking on Angela.
Yeah.
Being jerks.
Right. The girls are, like, upset that she won't go swimming. And it's like, well, that makes sense
But,
because her father
she's
died.
not even getting, like, that much attention from boys. Like, they're mad that one boy wants to talk to her.
Yeah.
Literally just one boy wants to talk to her.
Maybe...
And they're like, Angela gets to stay up here and not go swimming. And she's getting all attention from this boy. That's not okay.
Yeah. Maybe this is, like, one of those things where girls think that when guys pick on them, it's like they're flirting with them. And so all the girls think that the guys are into Angela because they're all picking on her.
Well, then they're just dumb.
Well, okay, who in this movie isn't dumb?
This is true. Everyone in this movie is very
Everyone
dumb.
is dumb in this movie. All right. Then, so these kids who throw a water balloon at them, the one is pooping, and somebody takes
That's the worst death.
It is, but, like, they don't even show anything. I think there's, like, one...
No, you watch it, like, crawl in and out of his face.
Okay, that's, like, one quick little flash.
It was too much for me.
So he's pooping, and somebody drops a beehive into the stall with him. Mm-hmm. And he gets stung to death.
Yeah, that was horrible, though. And, like, she locks him in to the stall and sticks, like, a whole beehive in the window, and he can't get out, except he very easily could by crawling under the stall.
Oh, yeah, he could have just easily climbed onto there.
But, no, he was too dumb, so he died.
Yeah. He was also probably, like, super allergic.
I don't know. I think anyone would die from that many bee stings.
Yeah, that's probably true. All right, so he dies, and then Paul's like, hey, I want to show you something. And he kisses her, and she starts freaking out. And I think that's when, like, the flashback happened with when she and her brother caught the dad and the guy in bed together, which I guess would have been their uncle. So Angela's
That's
like...
what it was. Oh, I get it.
What?
I didn't realize that guy was her uncle.
I think it was her uncle.
That makes sense.
Well, I mean, we don't know for certain. I mean, why else would they say at the beginning, like, oh, the doctor's coming?
No, that makes
like
sense.
Aunt Martha, the whole thing.
That makes sense. So, like, the dad and the uncle were brothers.
But they were having sex with each other?
Yes. I think that's why they show that scene with the girl and the boy in bed as kids.
I don't know about that.
Okay, then why do they show those siblings in bed together?
I don't know, but I don't think there's enough evidence in the movie to suggest that they maybe were siblings.
Well, he was either siblings with the crazy aunt or the...
Yeah, see, I think that makes more sense.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, maybe it was, like, her sister. Or maybe it's, like, his wife's sister. And he hooked up with her husband. Yeah. And there's a whole variety of different things.
I guess so.
I don't know why we're jumping to...
Well, I just didn't know why the two kids were in the bed together.
Yeah, that was odd. I don't know what to think about that.
Yeah.
So Angela runs away from Paul. Mm-hmm. And Judy, the little hoe bag, is like, I'm going to go hook up with Paul now.
Yeah.
And so they go make out. Angela catches them. Angela loses her mind.
Right, because, like, that was the only person that was nice to her.
Yeah.
No, because the only reason he actually hooks up with Judy is because So they are out on the beach together and they're like making out, and he tries to stick his hand down her pants and she's like, no, no, no. And he's like, okay, I'll just go hook up with Judy then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Judy and the one counselor girl, Meg, they throw Angela in the water.
Which is horrible.
Right.
Again.
She's not doing anything to anyone.
And like that's like so traumatic to her.
Right? Ricky saves them again, and he's like, I'm gonna kill you. Mm-hmm. Meg is like, hey, Mel, why don't we go have dinner together? And he's like, oh yeah, let's do this. Okay, super creepy.
Yeah.
Because she's like, what, barely 18?
And why was Meg even offering? It's not even like he really advanced her.
Right.
To be fair.
And it's like...
I mean, you should have said no, but...
Well, that's true, too. Does she think that she'd be getting in on some of that sweet, sweet camp director money?
Because they make so much.
Yeah. Regardless, she gets stabbed in the shower. That one was also pretty painful because it was the knife through the stall door into her back, why she didn't just
and then like
step forward.
Ripped down her back.
Yeah. Soup's messed up. Paul is like, hey, Angela, I'm sorry. And Angela's like, all right, you know what? Let's go sit by the lake later. And he's like, all right.
You're forgetting about the kids in the sleeping bag.
Oh, I'm getting there.
Okay.
So then at one point, like one of the counselors is like forced to take these kids out into the woods. And he's like, oh, I don't want to. And the kids are like, oh, we want to. Mm-hmm. But then one kid gets cold and he has to drive him back to the camp. And then when he comes back, all the kids are dead.
Yeah.
Sleeping bags, axed to death.
Because I'm pretty sure they were the kids that were throwing sand at her after she fell into the water.
I think you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Didn't pick up on that, but that makes sense. Because no one dies in this movie needlessly.
Right.
Everyone's
She's
a bully.
very smart in who she kills.
Mel finds out that Meg was killed. And he's like...
He's devastated. Whoa. He's like devastated.
Oh yeah, this is like he
Concerning
just lost
level.
the love of his
Yeah.
life. Judy also dies. She's like in her room, and she's making out with that guy, and is killed with a hot curling iron. We will not say how, but it is not shown, and it does not sound pleasant. But she is burned to death. Mel, freaking out, thinking that Ricky is the killer, because it's the only thing that makes logical sense.
Well, he said like, I saw you with those one kids.
Yeah, that was kind of weird.
And he said like, you said you were gonna kill them.
Yeah. So basically, he's just taking this kid's threat and like assuming he's the murderer.
Right.
So Mel beats the snot out of this child.
Yes.
Bad PR for this camp.
Yeah.
Because no one's going to send their kids back there ever again.
If all the murderers wouldn't do it, this certainly
right?
will. Yeah.
And then Mel is shot in the throat by not Paul, or not Ricky. So the other counselors, they're all looking for like all the missing campers and stuff because they don't know that everybody's dead yet. They're looking for Meg, and they're looking for Judy and all those people. And Paul goes to the beach with Angela, and they're like, hey, let's go skinny dipping. And Paul's like, all right. Mm-hmm. And then the counselors find Angela on the beach naked, and she's like humming, which is very creepy.
It was very unsettling.
Finds out that she has Paul's head in her lap. She has decapitated him. Mm-hmm. And then Angela stands up holding a knife, and plot twist, Angela's a boy. And
it is wild.
We go to another flashback in which we find out that the aunt was like, well, I already have a son, and I really want a girl.
Another son simply won't do.
Yeah, don't say that. That's creepy.
That's how she says it.
I know, and it's creepy.
Yeah.
So she makes turns out that Angela was the one who died at the lake. And Peter, the brother, survived. And the aunt makes Peter be Angela.
Yeah.
Like putting him in girls' clothes and wigs and whatnot.
Yeah.
And so
It's
that's
unsettling.
enough to mess things up. And
That child's never going to be normal.
No. And so the movie just kind of ends that way.
I think do you think that she would have started her killing spree had the aunt not sent her to camp?
I think she would have snapped at some point.
Mm-hmm. That's just like what did it. Because it was also the same camp where his sister and dad died.
Yeah, well, I don't know for certain because they say that. Didn't they say like the camp was closed and then it opened?
Yeah, because I thought it was closed because of the.
But they showed the
from-
camp closed at the beginning before they show the.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like
I'm not
over the
sure
titles and stuff.
I'm not sure. I thought it was talked about in the fourth one too.
We didn't watch the fourth one.
Or which one do we watch where Angela's back?
The second and the third one.
One of those I felt like, but maybe not.
I don't know.
I might be getting confused. But regardless, this movie is wild.
Yeah. There's no like resolution to
No,
the
it
story.
literally rolls credits when you find out Angela's a man.
Yeah, it just ends right there.
Yeah.
And there's no satisfaction to it. Mm-mm. Now, let me tell you why I like the second one more. Second one, Angela's played by Pamela Springsteen, Bruce Springsteen's sister. And it is revealed that Angela had a sex change, which I don't know why that was necessary to the story. Well, I guess like it kind of makes sense why they had to change it if they're going to like so blatantly make her a girl, but also not.
Yeah, I don't know.
But she returns to the camp as a camp counselor. And she then decides to start murdering people who don't go along with the camp stuff.
Yeah.
But
Which is basically what she did when she went to camp.
Right. So it's kind of contradictory, but it's
Yeah.
also very funny. They play up the corniness of it.
Yes.
At one
I think
point-
that one's supposed to be bad, I think. I think this
yeah.
was supposed to be a good movie.
Right. I think this was supposed to be a pretty decent movie, which it's bad, but it's not like bad. Like it's fun
I
bad.
enjoy watching it.
But like the second one, like the ham level is just like through the roof. And same thing with the third one. The third one really has no plot at all. The second one had at least more of a plot.
Which one is the one where she like lives in that cabin that's deserted?
That's the second one.
Oh, that's a good
Where she has all the dead bodies in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah. And they have
I
the
wanna know what
references
happened to her brother.
Friday the 13th. And you mean her cousin?
Or her cousin.
I don't know. Maybe we find out in Return to Sleepaway Camp.
We gotta watch that.
Yeah. So 2 and 3 are okay. Return to Sleepaway Camp is the one that was directed by the same director, Robert. What's his face? Robert Hiltzik, and it picks up immediately, or it picks up after the first Sleepaway Camp,
Which
so
I'm
it
so excited about.
ignores
Yeah,
2 and 3.
So I'm really excited about it.
But I just enjoyed the charisma of Pamela Springsteen as a
I
camp
thought
counselor.
the girl who played Angela did a good job.
Yeah. For like this movie.
Yeah.
But like the sequels where it's just really hammy,
Yeah.
you needed somebody else. I can't imagine the same Angela doing that. So that is Sleepaway Camp.
It is definitely worth a watch.
Yeah. Now, I would like to see a remake of this movie
That would be good.
in which they dive more into the psychosis of... I would like to see... Okay, so you know how like in the House of Wax remake with Paris Hilton, they tried to like do some more flashbacks to kind of make you understand why this dude's turning people into wax?
Yeah.
That's what I want to see with this one. Like, was she bullied at school? Like, was going to camp the snapping point? Was this the camp where her dad died and that's why she snapped?
Right.
Was it more than just like her aunt or whatever? Mm-hmm. The thing that I would be most afraid of with a remake is them trying to out-twist the twist of the original.
Yeah, I mean, keep the same twist. Keep everything the same.
Yeah. Like, don't even set it up. I feel like movies now are so focused on being twisty.
Right.
And, like, playing, like, ha ha, but you didn't see that coming.
Right.
That, like, the story falls apart.
Just give us the history of Angela.
Yeah.
Who is she? What does she want? Where is she going?
What are her hopes and dreams?
Yeah.
Does she ever become
Was she
Peter
normal
again?
before this
Right.
happened?
Exactly.
Was he normal before this happened?
Was her father's gay lover
Her uncle.
her uncle? And how were they related?
These are the
Was-
questions that need answered.
Was Aunt Martha messed up? I don't know.
Yeah, maybe this caused Aunt Martha to snap. Maybe she was normal.
Yeah. Who knows? These are the things that we should find out. Mm-hmm. You know, I feel like the new one, I feel like if they remade it, it would get a little more disturbing.
Yeah.
It'd be pretty messed up.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's 2020 and we got coronavirus, so we can handle it, I think.
We can handle it.
So that's what I would like to see.
I think that would be good. Who would you have play Angela? In like a modern day remake.
Okay. I feel like I would get in a lot of trouble for like not picking a trans actor or actress.
Oh.
But like I feel like this movie isn't like pro trans,
I don't think it's
At
pro
all.
anything. It's like I don't
just,
know,
like,
it's weird.
is.
Yeah.
but like it also I feel like it would be really controversial for saying that like forcing your child to be something else would make them into murder. I don't know. I feel like I'm getting into some really like
It's just this movie's meant to be light. I mean, it's just maybe he wanted to explore some deeper concepts with that and like
Yeah.
there's fine whatever, but like if we're going strictly off what he was doing,
yeah.
like we're
We
not getting
definitely
politics
need-
involved. We're just strictly going off what he was doing. I would want to see Jenna Coleman play the role of Angela.
Like the Doctor Who Jenna Coleman?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like Anna de Armas could do a really good job. Or
Yeah, she could do a good job.
you know what? Controversial opinion. Make a boy play Angela.
Yeah.
Like Timothy Chalamet.
Jared Leto.
Yeah, feel like he's too old. He can't.
He is too old
he
at this
doesn't-
point,
I
but
mean, he's still got a
he'd
baby
be very
face, but,
good.
like, yeah,
I'm trying to think who else could be a good boy Angela.
I don't know.
But that would be
Wild.
yeah.
All right. Definitive bad movie day night ranking list. Where does
I'm
this
interested
fall?
to hear where you are gonna put it.
I would not put it very high. In fact, I would probably put it underneath.
Well, this is not going well so far.
I think I would put it between Battlefield Earth and The Stuff.
Okay.
Because comparatively, I don't think it's as bad as a lot of the movies that are higher on the list. Like, I think it has a better story and it's more cohesive and stuff.
Then the dolls. The dolls is nuts. It is
Right,
nuts. It
right.
has no story.
That's what I'm saying, is like it's more cohesive. Like, so it's less bad
Oh.
in terms of like
like
quality
it has
and
a
stuff.
story. Okay. Okay.
But like
okay.
in terms of like fun and
It's
rewatchability,
very high.
it's pretty high, which I think puts it like right here.
Deathstalker though.
Deathstalker is a disaster of a film and so much more fun to watch than this.
No, this movie's I enjoy watching this movie. I think it should become like a yearly thing that we do.
Okay. I'm not disagreeing with that. I could be convinced to put it between Deathstalker and Killer Clowns.
I think it needs to go above Christmas Perfection.
But underneath Killer Clowns from Outer
Yeah.
Space. I'll do that.
Because, like, Christmas Perfection,
Is actually kind of a good movie.
yeah.
That's the only reason it's so high on this list.
It's 'cause it
has
was so
such a
good.
high rewatchability.
I know, I rewatch it.
Yeah.
Every Christmas, I want to watch it.
We have too many Christmas movies at this point. All right, so Christmas Perfection is moving down to be taken by Sleepaway Camp. Do you have anything else that you want to add to this? This is actually a pretty short episode for us.
Well, you're flying through that plot. But to
there's
be
really
fair, the
not
movie.
a whole lot. It's
Well, the
just
movie, like, once the first murder happens, it pretty much just rolls after that. It's like there's
Boom,
a
boom,
murder
boom, boom, boom.
probably every 10 minutes, I would say.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's an exaggeration. It's not a long movie. It's what, like an hour 20?
I think it's like 80. It's an hour 24.
I was so good.
You were pretty close.
So it's about an hour 20, and it's literally like once you get to the camp scene and the cook dies, it's like murder every 10 minutes.
Yeah, it murders pretty quickly.
And there's nothing else that really happens other than like you see
Somebody
her
picks on
being
Angela,
they die.
then they die.
Right.
Picking
How come no
Angela.
one picked up on that correlation beforehand?
Because Angela was too quiet to actually kill people, and because Ricky always came to her rescue.
Oh,
was
so they
the
could
thing.
just scapegoat.
That I
Ricky.
think that was kind of like what the movie is trying to do. Is like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, look, Ricky came to her rescue. Clearly, he's the one murdering people.
All right. I just want to touch on one more thing.
Okay.
The fashions.
Oh, we should go back to the 80s and definitely start
Murder
wearing
everyone that
everything
wore
that they wore.
these people.
Tiny shorts, oversized polos.
But no. Like not
tucked
girls.
into their pants.
Not girls wearing tiny shorts.
No,
Boys wearing tiny shorts.
Boys wore tight clothes. Girls wore parachutes,
Yes.
like mom jeans to the max.
Yes.
With their oversized polos tucked into
Yes.
them.
And remember Angela, she was wearing those gym shorts
Oh yeah.
with a polo tucked into it. And your
Yeah.
mom was like, I did that. And I was like, no, nobody should do that.
And I told you that my dad did the cutoff thing for a
Oh.
long time,
No one, okay, people should not, no. That's, no.
right?
And like the cutoffs in this movie, I feel like they were almost making fun of cutoffs in real life because they're like, how short? I feel like his cutoff gets shorter as the movie progresses until he's only wearing like the neck portion.
Yeah, he just has just the t-shirt sleeves at the end,
It was insane.
right?
The fashions of the 80s, their hair, that girl's side ponytail.
Yeah, let's never go back to that.
Oh, man. The only person that can pull off a side ponytail is Jocelyn. Jocelyn. She wears a side ponytail.
In Bob's Burgers,
Yeah.
my favorite character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's it with the fashions. I just really wanted to hit on that because they were equally as crazy as this movie.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that you I'm glad that we touched on that. I feel like that was a big segment that we were missing.
I think so. It gives you more context for the movie now.
Right. This movie is 80s to the max.
80s to the max.
All right. Anything else?
I don't think so.
Perfect. As usual, you can follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Journey into Film. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast so that you can listen to it every week whenever there's a new episode. And, hit us up over on Patreon at patreon.com/ajourneyintofilm. Any support that you offer is appreciated because it keeps the lights on. I hear a lot of podcasts say that, so maybe if we say it, then
We'll get the monies.
People will think that we're like a real podcast then. I mean, we are like a real podcast.
We are a real
But
podcast.
like a bigger podcast than we are. Got to keep the lights on. This is how we pay our bills, especially during coronavirus. If you're feeling generous, send some monies our way.
Yeah.
And we will talk to you next week.
Have a great week.